We've had, I'd say, at least 3 or 4 guys come on the show, DeMar being the most sort of obvious example, and talk about playing against Bron in the playoffs and how he would know the plays that they were running when DeMar was in Toronto. He would know the plays that they were running. He would call them out, and it would just throw them off. They'd be like, this guy literally knows exactly what we're going to do before we do it, and their whole sort of game plan was thrown for a loop. When you guys were in those finals runs, did you feel like he was doing that to you?
Oh, 100%. The difference is we knew everything they were going to do, and they knew everything we were going to do. I'm not sure if DeMar and the Raptors knew what LeBron and it was going to do. But I know he knew what they were. But, like, when we go up against each other, there's no surprises. Like, LeBron wasn't going to do anything other than, like, make a read, right? They weren't going to do anything that we didn't expect them to do. And we weren't going to do anything that they didn't expect us to do. So what does it come down to? Who turns the ball over less? Who rebounds better? Who fouls less? Obviously, you got to make shots. You know, who's hotter that night? Who's getting the better looks? And then most importantly, who has the more talent? Because for us, and like that's what it boils down to in the end. You know, when you're on that same playing field, we're not making game plan mistakes. You know, we know the game plan. You're not going to beat us running these sets for this guy or that guy. Like we know all of that stuff. So it's going to come down to who wants it more by doing all of those little things. I remember we were down 2-1. We were down 2-1 in 2015. Yeah, that's the year. Yeah, 2015 finals. We're down 2-1. Dellavedova was beating us to every single loose ball. Dellavedova and Tristan Thompson. They were beating us, the ball on the floor. They beat us their first on the floor. Offensive rebounds, they're coming over rebound. But it was the loose balls were the most important and the most glaring thing. And I remember telling our guys going into game 4, we have to get every loose ball. I'm going to get every one of them, and I need everyone to follow me. I need everybody to come up with a loose ball. If you can come up with one, we'll be good. But right now, they're ahead 2-1. Not because they're more talented than us. Kyrie and Kevin Love are out. They can't even compete talent-wise. So, hey, guys, if we come up with the loose balls, they don't stand a chance. So I'm telling y'all now, I'm diving on the floor. I'm getting every loose ball. Follow me. Come up with a loose ball. We came up with the loose balls. They didn't win another game, right? It ends up boiling down to stuff like that. But LeBron definitely knew everything we were running. We knew everything he was running too.
I don't know if you ever play the what if game. Certainly as you get later on in your career, maybe you think back to a moment you would have done differently. How did you sort of process what happened at the end of Game 4 in 2016 in the aftermath of them coming back 3-1? And has that perspective or processing changed at all now 6 years later?
I think the only thing that may have changed is I'm not sure I would react the same in the moment just because I've grown as a person. I don't regret reacting the way I reacted in the moment because the only reason I can't promise you that I wouldn't react that way because if somebody steps over my shoulder, I'm naturally going to try to get you off my shoulder. That's just who I am. I don't want a guy stepping over my shoulder. I'm sorry. I just don't. And so I can't promise you that I wouldn't react the same way. But what I do know is I think LeBron coaxed me into that. And I know for sure today he couldn't coax me into that. And so if it's anything, it's that. But I don't regret it because shit happens. And I learned so much from that. And if we do win that series, I don't think we get Kevin Durant. And if we don't get Kevin Durant, I'm not sure our run would have continued. So say we do win 2 in a row, right? And then we never win again. That's not viewed as the same dynasty as what we did do, you know? And so I think it's all give and take. I think the one thing when I look back on it that bothers me is I would have been the finals MVP. And that totally changes the narrative. Good luck leaving me off the NBA 75 if I was Finals MVP. Good luck even having a debate if I'm a Hall of Famer or not if I was Finals MVP.
I don't think there's a debate.
I mean, I don't think so either, but who knows, right? Like, is it certain? I don't know. But I think I win Finals MVP in that series, and there's no debate on anything, and everybody could shut the hell up. So if anything, it's that obviously not get another ring. But when I look back on that from a selfish standpoint, which I rarely do, I would have been Finals MVP, and that changes the course of everything.
Before we get to Kevin, because I have a couple questions just about those 3 seasons, but that Game 7 in 16, 32, 15, and 9, is that the best game you've ever played in your life?
I think it's definitely the best game I've ever played in my life. I also think it's one of the greatest Game 7. Game 7 in general, performances in general, but definitely Game 7 Finals performances, I think is one of the best ever, and yet it will never be talked about because we lost. You know, no one talks about it because we lost. And so it kind of sucks that we didn't win and I played that well, but I definitely think that was one of the best games I ever played. Like, everything was working. The jump shot was working. I got to the hole. I was good defensively. I made plays. I had 9 assists, and we didn't shoot the ball well at all. Like, and so I really dominated that game. And so if that, it sucks that we didn't win it because, like, you'd always hear about that performance had we won. So that bothers me, but there's an old adage, in the end, you normally get what you deserve. And I got what I deserved. You know, whether it was right or wrong, do I think I should have been suspended? No, I didn't hit him. I got upgraded to a flagrant foul for trying to hit him. Like, I tried. I definitely tried. He's on my shoulder. But I missed. And the reason the reason I was suspended were for flagrant foul accumulation points. I didn't foul him. Like, I missed. So I got a flagrant foul point after the fact. The NBA went back. So you get 4 flagrant foul points. As you know, a flagrant 2 is worth 2, a flagrant 1 is worth 1. You get 4 flagrant foul points throughout the course of the playoffs. 2 of my flagrant foul points were after the fact, NBA going back after the game and say, we're assessing Draymond a flagrant foul. I missed.